What's going on, y'all? So listen.
Mm, Girl, what is going on, y'all? So we are back, and baby, I'm on 10. Anyway, so we back again for another episode review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This season, okay, this season 6, episode 14. Baby, when is going on break? Like, I feel like we should have been on break like episode 10 so they can give us the second half later after Love and DC come on. Girl, y'all forgot about Love and Marriage DC? Like, wow, what is happening? But anyway, I'm not really complaining. It is what it is. I'm good. But this is episode 14. Kiuwhattt, what? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I really wasn't paying attention to that conversation between Kiuwhattt and Kimmy at the beginning. Okay, this is the third episode that we are having the same conversation. This went on way too long. Okay, at the end of the day, Kimmy felt the way about Kiuwhattt not sticking up and saying, "Girl, she was not a side chick." Kiuwhattt is like, I don't have control over what anybody says, and I don't get on social media. Kimmy talking about something where that lacks integrity. To me, that feels like you lack integrity. And let me tell you something, Kimmy. You would have got cussed out for telling me some shit like that to my face, okay? I lack integrity because I ain't get my ass on social media and get into an interview or whatever and shut down the narrative that you was a side chick, which make people believe that you was the side chick, which I really don't believe. But then again, it's like, girl, you didn't let Maurice get up into your mind and bring up all these feelings again for you to sit here and come and have this rank ass scene. Listen, and it may feel like I'm going in a little bit on little Kimberly. But see, Kimberly kind of made me mad. But again, you are married, and I guess when you marry, you got to stick by your man. Because I know some of y'all didn't saw that, Fox. So, I was getting the momentum going, right? Anyway, all right. Back to it. Somebody going to say, girl, it's too loud. Fuck that. Anyway. This is what I get for living next to a goddamn hospital. Living in a vicinity, I should say, of a hospital. Girl, it just irritates me sometimes. It be so quiet sometimes up in here. And when I say it be quiet for hours, and then as soon as I want to record, there they go. There they go. Why y'all couldn't do that earlier? But anyway, I know some of y'all saw that Fox Soul interview, right? With Hunt and what's his name? Maurice. And again, I get it. That's your man, and Kimmy really got up there and was like, my man, my man, my man. I'm going to stick beside him. And it is what it is. I'm going to defend him to the death. Yeah, what he said was kind of fucked up. But, it is what it is. It ain't really, you got to get the context. And Maurice still saying it's the context of what she said. She was the one that put it out on the show. Granted, we saw all of that. But literally the way that you worded that and the things that he said up in that interview still was just disgusting. No matter which way, how you try to explain it, how you try to take up for it, how you try to fix it, which you really did it. Because shout out, and I don't even fuck with this bitch, but shout out to Claudia Jordan, okay? Because Claudia Jordan said, all right, well, if that's not what you meant, do you feel as though you could have reworded it or whatever? And he never really said yes or no like that, to the point where she had to ask him multiple times, and she had to call him out about that shit. And I'm just sitting here like, Kimmy up there just basically like, what he said was kind of messed up, but I understand where he coming from, because it's not like he really tried to force me to do this. And girl, we understand that part, okay? That's not, it's, what I got from it is, I'm going to defend my spouse no matter if they wrong or right in public. That's just what it gives. No matter how much they embarrass me with the things that they say, I'm going to defend them in public regardless. I might cuss them out behind the stage, but in public, I'm going to defend. Listen, and at this point, it ain't none of my business no more. I really don't give it. Now I truly don't care about nobody on this show. Because, girl, what? I'm just sitting there like, all right, Kimberly, you do what you do. That's your man. That's your man. Don't mess with my man. My man. He was giving very much all of those energies. And I'm just sitting there like, it is, all right. If you feel like you can't call your, I don't know. Maybe because I'm not married, because I know somebody gonna be like, well, you don't understand. Cause get the fuck. I understand respect and disrespect, and everything that he said was disrespectful as hell, and he barely did anything to correct that in this interview. But anyway, moving on from that, girl, lack integrity because you ain't say nothing. You allowing this narrative to, girl, ain't nobody allowing that narrative to keep going, because if it wasn't for you and Maurice bringing it up, and mostly Maurice bringing it up, we had forgot about the fact that y'all had issues and it was a side chick situation that was supposed to be had. Okay, because I definitely forgot about it, baby. Truth be told, Kimmy, I'm just going to be 100% real with you. Outside of the cancer situation that's going on, don't nobody give a damn about you and Maurice like that, to be going up into y'all business like that. Y'all, you're not that interesting, okay? Bring Jalen back on the show. I'm just saying, you know what? Sometimes we just got to be honest, okay? Kiuwhattt and Kimmy are fine. Moving on from that, Maurice and Maurice Jr., okay, they went to play basketball because Maurice feeling a little bit away. You know, he want to have a little conversation with him to make it seem as though that he can actually open up to him. I said, you know what? He up there playing basketball. Monster was whooping his ass, okay? Well, I should say, Maurice Jr. was whooping his ass up in basketball and all that shit. And then, you know, don't get me all sweaty and hot for you to sit down. Not even sit us down and get something to drink, okay? We can't even hydrate. Daddy, you ain't even bring no Gatorade. You ain't bring no Gatorade, bitch. We could have been up in a Gatorade commercial, whatever. That's what we could have did, you know, got some sponsorships. But no, you want to stand there and lecture me again, but try to disguise it that you trying to be concerned and you want to know what's going on or whatever. He was like, no, son, I know you just kind of tired of the way that I keep on lecturing you. And I was with Monster. He said, you know what? The little talk that we had the last time that we just got through watching, it was cool. It was needed. But I'm going to just be real with you, Daddy. I really thought it was like boring because like I heard this before and I keep hearing it and I'm gonna tune that shit out. That's what kids do. That's what people do, that it gets annoyed, and that's what teenagers do, okay? You know, and I'm glad. I'll give Maurice this. He said, my mistake is I keep on coming at you as if you are me and as if you're growing up the way that I grew up, and I did not grow up. We are not the same people. I am realizing that. I said, oh, you realize that your son is an individual that's opposite of you, that has his own brain, mind, and circumstances and experiences? Wow. Mind-blowing revelation. Whoa. I said, come on, Maurice. At least you trying for right now. You know, and he even said, I know I just be lecturing you. Yes, you talk too goddamn much. All I got out of that conversation is, do you feel like what really could have been said was, listen, son, I know it seems like we be coming down on you, especially me, all right? You know, I just be trying to, you know, do things the way my daddy did things, and I just want you to be good. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be an outstanding individual, and that's it. And I also want you to be able to come to me, you know, and feel like you can talk to me. And he said, you know what? I do be wanting to talk or whatever, but sometimes I just feel like I can't do that. And he was like, why? Because you ain't got permission to? Exactly. And I said, excuse the fuck out of me. So you should feel some type of way, Maurice, that your son didn't want to say nothing or bring up some things just to talk to you because he felt as though he did not have permission to, or he couldn't, because again, he didn't have permission to. And it took for you to say, well, now you have permission to come and talk to me. I said, that don't make no sense. I ain't never had to have no permission to talk to my mom. Okay, maybe because mamas is different. I ain't never had to have no permission to talk to my grandmama, to talk to my granddaddy. Baby, sometimes I just didn't bother to go to my granddaddy because he one of them motherfuckers that just go off on the corner in a tangent and just go around the corner and he don't even remember what it was we was talking about. So I just leave that to the side, because if I want a whole history lesson about nothing and I got time, then I sit there and listen to him. Other than that, I got a whole bunch of people and I don't have to have permission. And you shouldn't, your kids shouldn't feel like they have to have permission to talk to you. I said, child, Maurice, you got to look at yourself. And Maurice, that type of person that even if he's on TV or even if people are coming down on him, he not going to change. Did y'all see Dennis, Hot Dog Man, Portia baby daddy, talking about something? He want to fight Maurice in a ring for 20 bands. I said, excuse me, because he said the stuff that he said about Kimmy and his relationship, it was disgusting and all this stuff. I said, yes. But who the hell are you? Didn't you cheat on Portia when she was pregnant? All right. You know, asshole versus asshole. It is what it is. I probably will see it too. I wouldn't pay for it, but if somebody put it on Twitter, I'll watch. You know. So basically, they gonna be cool. All right. I said just loosen up a little bit, Maurice. That's all you need to do. Loosen up a little bit and be available to your son. Okay. Moving on from that. Girl, this situation with Stormy going and meeting up with Mel, I'ma just put it like this. Stormy is looking for a problem where there is none at this moment. And if anybody should have an issue, I can see both of them having an issue, but I just feel like you're dragging it out for what? She said she wanted to meet up with Mel because she wants to see exactly what's going on, where they stand at, and all of that. And Mel doesn't even come to her in a negative way. She don't come there in a combative way. You know, that could be a passive, could be looked at as being passive aggressive, but she literally trying to figure out what's going on, okay? Because if anybody should have an issue at this point, it should be Mel. Because they haven't seen each other for a minute. And she was like, I just feel like you don't be saying exactly what you need to say, or if you had something, you know, you be holding back or whatever. And she was like, if I wasn't going to say what I had to say, I wouldn't have had the tea party. I wouldn't have sat there and let your mama say what the fuck she said to me. And let me tell you something, Stormy. The issue at this point, when you sitting here talking about something, I just feel like you be pulling away, our friendship pulling away and all this stuff and woo, woo, woo. And then in your confessional, you trying to make it seem as though Mel is not telling you exactly what it is that's going on and how she truly feels, and you feel like she's gaslighting. I don't feel that way. Mel literally sat there, and y'all already know how I feel about her sometimes, but I'm just take it here. Mel sat there and told your ass, asked you about your mama. Did you know your mama felt that way about me? You knew that your mama did not like Melody from the moment that she saw her on TV, because that's literally what you sat there and you told her. And you make up an excuse for your mother, okay? For the simple fact that, oh, you know, when she saw you on TV, she didn't really like you or whatever. And that's just how she is with people, because she didn't even like my husband when she first saw him, and she barely even liked her own sister and all that stuff. And, you know, you gotta do something to convince her to let her guard down against y'all, for her to let her guard down for you or whatever. So basically what I heard is my mama is a bitch, okay? I'm sorry to say it like that, but that's all that I heard. My mama is a bitch, and I can't do nothing to control it. Yes, you can do something to control it. You know what I'm saying? Because you had all the control up in that tea party when you brought her ass there. And see, if I was Mel, I would have cussed her ass out, because I would have been like, after you just told me how your mama feel, so you knew all of this stuff, and you knew she felt this way prior to our relationship and prior to us getting to where we at now. You knew all of that, but then you decided to let her come and to cuss me out and tell me to shut up and call me a nasty spirit and, you know, evil, all this stuff. Girl, no. It's like at this point, Stormy is looking for a reason to be pissed off at Mel or to have an issue with Melody at this point, because Melody is not giving her the energy that she wants. And at this point, I'm like, how come you haven't figured it out that Melody is not giving anybody any extra energy that's not going to benefit her or that's going to stress her out? She's not trying to argue with anybody. She's not trying to have complicated relationships with anybody, because if that's the case, she's just going to exit it out. And if that's what you're looking for, I am not mad at Melody for not trying to give in to that, because who has the time after going season after season in these arguments and all this stuff? Baby, it comes a time where we have to fucking grow up. And I feel like that's what Mel trying to do. And plus, she just can't stand y'all asses at the moment, all right? And she's not trying to give you that type of energy. She's trying to get into a more positive space, and you trying to take her to a negative space. Baby, if the relationship or whatever this thing is that you thought that you had felt like it was dissipating or whatever, go with the flow, bitch. Because at the end of the day, y'all was never really friends like that. Y'all just became friends a couple of seasons ago, and I ain't even gonna say friends. Y'all was associates. Y'all just started talking to each other, trying to get to know each other, to try to get on a friendship level. And sometimes people are meant to be friends, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes we just gotta let it go, and sometimes there's no real explanation. Okay, you just don't vibe the way that you thought that you would, and that is fine. Move on with your life, baby. That's all that it is. Worry about your husband and how come your husband, baby, they had the only good man up in this goddamn show. And I hope I put this out here to the universe and it don't come back that he got a negative past too, because I'm going to feel some type of way. Because at this moment, God damn it, Courtney is the only good person on this show, okay? That's a hard-working man, and he's trying to do for his family, and he got issues, and he ain't afraid to cry on camera. I said, oh my God, Courtney. Stormy, I'll take your man just because, all right? Just because of that, and I don't even like that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I said, Courtney, come... If your mama don't, I said, if mama wouldn't have had reached over there and just grabbed him and said, come on, son, just cry, I would have said, come here, Courtney, cry right here, okay? Listen, thank goodness I am not back in slavery, because they probably would have made me a fucking wet nurse, bitch. These things would have been a curse to me, God damn it, right? But anyway, so you got that going on. He come over there. He talking about, he just a little stressed out because he's a businessman. He's a working man. I said, I know that's right. Girl, he worrying about the warehouse and getting the orders out and all that stuff. And then somehow, which was really weird to me, but I'm going to just go with the flow of it. They started talking about how, the mama grew up as a single parent. Okay, she had her kids, and there's times that she had to work multiple jobs, and she had to figure out whether or not she gonna eat or she gonna go to work. Okay, if she gonna spend this money to go get some food, get some gas. Okay, and I felt bad because a lot of people had those type of stories, especially back then, and it's just really, really sad. And that's why I just don't understand how come we be I ain't gonna say me. How come people be disrespecting the fuck out of black women especially? You know what I'm saying? Well, all the stuff that they be doing for these people, bitch, So, I was just like, wow. So then they get into this whole conversation about, because he wants to, the expanding of the family. I guess it was Stormy that wanted another baby, but he didn't want another baby. She didn't want, I can't remember. I thought it was he that wanted another baby, but she didn't want it because she didn't want to go through what she didn't want to go through having the pregnancy happen and then going through what they went through to give birth the way that it happened with the first baby, because it was a lot and she almost lost her life. And so I guess now she's kind of reconsidering it, more so like if they get a surrogate or something like that. He don't want that. And I'm just like, I just feel like you can't really get mad at the wife because she doesn't want to put her body through that just because you want kids. The only things that you got to do is provide for it. You don't have to, and that's what men need to understand. When y'all be acting like y'all got control over these women's bodies, you do not have to go through the changes, and you do not have to go through all of the physical changes and emotional changes, the hormonal changes, and all of that stuff that women have to go through, those pains and all of that. You do not have to go through none of that shit. And that is a lot of stress on the body, to the point where that's how come women sometimes die during childbirth. And especially given that it's black women, we have a higher risk of that. So if that lady said, I don't want to have a kid right now, that's just what it is. But now it's like he doesn't want to do that for whatever reason. And then when the mama said, I just know you want to be the best daddy that you can. And he was like, I seen how you was when you was raising us as a single parent. It's just like, my daddy. I said, oh my God, what's going on? He was like, my daddy, he just missed out on everything. I'm sitting here like, now I was a little confused as to how we got here. But once we got there, I was sitting here like, oh my God, Courtney, I understand, because I go through the same thing. That nigga missed out on every fucking thing, bitch. Fuck you, nigga. That's what Courtney was wanting to say. I put it out there for him because we was feeling each other at that same time. And I was just like, oh, Courtney, I was just loving the fact that his mama, first of all, Mama looked like she 2 years older than him. I said, that's your mama, bitch. I thought that was his sister. If it wasn't for the fact that, what the basis of the conversation was, and she was talking about raising them, and they put the sign underneath that said his mama, I would have been like, bitch, that's your sister. Girl, I said, come on, youngins. Come on, youngins. Anyway, that skin didn't crack a lick. I said, all right, come on. What's your skincare regimen? And so they was having that conversation. It was cute. And basically, she just said, you need to talk to your wife. Just talk to your goddamn wife, Courtney. Tell her what you're feeling. Y'all men got to stop it. Y'all up in these relationships with these women, and these women don't even know what's going on with you because you don't want to open up to them. Open up. Like that. Just like you pop the pussy up. You open up too. Anyway, moving on from that. Speaking of, so you got the Black Expo. Now let me just tell you this. The whole time Letitia been saying Black Expo, I've been sitting here like, this word does not sound right. It does not sound like she is pronouncing this word correctly. That's because she's not. She is not saying expo with an X. She is saying expo with an S. And I said, damn it, bitch, that's what it is. It took me to this episode to realize that, all right? But Marceau and them popped up at the venue, right? Kimmy shows up with Maurice. And then Martell shows up. I'm looking at the venue place and I said, this is it. This is it. She's like, this big enough, right? I said, no. I said, please do a 360 around so I can judge, okay? Because from the little spot that y'all was that didn't look big enough. And maybe it's because I've been to some women expos and other black business expos, and they have it in the McCormick place down here in Chicago, which is, well, I should say down there because it's down by my job, by my house or whatever. The McCormick place. And that place is huge, bitch. Huge, okay, with multiple rooms, and I mean big ass rooms that was way bigger than that. So that's what I'm used to. That's what they be having a auto show and all that shit. So I'm just sitting here thinking that it's gonna be a real big venue, like a convention. Bitch, that looked like a small ass gymnasium. It looked like a freaking, actually the gymnasium for a high school or a grammar school look a little bit bigger than that. No shade. I said, oh, well, this is y'all just, starting out. So, you don't expect that many people to come. So, hey, all right, I guess it's cool. But I just didn't like the way this conversation kind of went with one person because, first of all, Letitia put it out there that Mel is not coming. Mel not doing it. And she said, first of all, is partly because, the whole situation is going on between her and Martell. And then she don't want the focus to be just on her. She don't want to take the focus and be distracting from people and from what the actual event is about. And plus the fact that they have just now started talking and it's too soon. And even Letitia said, because she was like, literally 2 months ago, we were not talking to each other. And that's what I keep on saying. Like, y'all literally jump from being at each other's throat at the reunion to all of a sudden we're all good in the span of a little time. And I wish we would have saw the reconciliation, that process, because that's the part that's throwing me and that's making me seem like y'all acting fake and you just using this lady because you want more people to come in, and then you want to use this, oh, we're doing it for the community, but then you want to throw shots and make it seem like Mel is a bad person because she don't want to just do it for the community, because now you got Stormy that's there who's excited to do it for the community, but at the end of the day, y'all ain't got businesses like that, okay? And y'all ain't go through the trauma that she had to go through with y'all asses, all right? She's on fucking edge. Plus, not only that, Martell literally said, now I just don't understand how come Mel can't I understand we going to court and doing what we got to do, but how come you just can't put aside the business and be able to come together, or put aside the personal and be able to come together to do business? Bitch, are you stupid? This was the moment that I really realized that he used to play football, either in college, high school, or both. And I feel like Martell may have CTE. I'm not even trying to be funny. I feel like he had one too many concussions for him to say, well, how come she can't come? I think it's really messed up that she can't come together and just put the personal behind, because I can do that. Bitch, you can do that because you ain't the one that's doing the fucking damage. You really think I'm gonna fucking come kick it with you or come look at your face as we do fucking business together, okay? And after you up here taking me to court trying to get my kids and putting out all these lies and shit, bitch, are you fucking serious? I said, Martell, you gotta be a dumb nigga. That's why you haven't passed that. I guaranteed you till this day, that nigga probably still ain't got his builder's license, huh? Girl, are you stupid? I said, what type of bullshit is this? Hell no, nigga. It's too fucking deep for me to put the shit away. You literally trying to have my kids taken away from me. You literally putting it out there that I'm a bad fucking mother that got everybody and their mama watching my kids. But then you want me to put the personal aside and to be putting on this false front like I'm okay with seeing you when all this shit is already out in the universe. Bitch, are you stupid, Martell? Yes. Yes, I don't even need you to answer it because we wouldn't already answer the shit, bitch. Okay, moving on from that, we get to the little expo, okay? And Courtney was saying she gonna have a little booth up to that bitch too. Now Courtney said, bitch, fuck a booth, bitch. I'm finna have a whole goddamn setup. I said, I know that's the fuck right because I be seeing that at the expos too. All right, but here is where everything starts to falter and to go fucking wrong. And this is how you know you are dealing with amateurs that's just throwing shit together on a fucking whim, okay? Because for people to be into business stuff and to building stuff, how come you've been trying this hardest to get this together? You keep on saying you're not paying nobody to be there, but they got to pay your ass to be there. That's what we found out, right? And Courtney got caught off guard because this motherfucker Maurice, not Maurice, but Marceau basically said, did she pay the money to do the booth? And Letitia was like, what you talking about? Now, if your own wife who is doing this situation with you is confused about what you talking about, and you talking about some, go over there and tell her. She said, no, bitch, you go over there and tell her. And then you come over there and talking about some $100 for the booth space. Bitch, I would, and I know some people probably gonna say not Courtney, but Stormy overreacted. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Okay? Because I would have felt some way. I would have packed my shit up and I would have left. And it's just the principle of it all. It's not that she probably, I'm guaranteed you, she had the money. She had the money and she could have cashed out the bitch or Venmo'd him or, Zelled him the $100 right then and there. But it's about business and it's about the way you approach the situation and it's about how last minute this came. Don't play with me, okay? If you wanted me to be here to replace somebody, say that. Just say that. If you want somebody to do something for you and to collaborate with you, to be a part of an event that you have, baby, I'm cold. Okay. To have a collaboration with you or whatever, you tell them all of the fucking logistics and every detail that it is involved. Why y'all was harping so much on trying to get Mel there because you want more people to show up. You were not expecting a lot of people to, you wasn't expecting the right vendor space, okay? Because they was like 25 people and more coming. There was already a set 25 people that was supposed to be there. Now more people supposed to be trying to get up in there. And that's one thing. You didn't tell Stormy or you didn't give out any instructions, obviously, to anybody that was supposed to be there and say what the dimensions are of how much space they have. Because Stormy took up damn near half the back of the back. And then you feeling some type of way about that. Oh, because you didn't tell her the details. And then you gonna spring up on me that I gotta pay you money for this shit. Bitch, what? I would have paid it in prior if you would have told me when you were supposed to tell me, bitch. And then you just go come up here after I got my shit. No, I don't like the way they do business. This is why I'm not mad at Mel, even if she didn't have a real excuse not to do business or get involved with them at this moment. I am not mad that she said, no, I'm not getting involved with this, because first of all, it's half-assed. I understand this is a first time doing this, and yes, there's going to be some ups and downs, some hiccups or whatever, and you learn from it. So when you do it the next time, if there is a next time, you iron those out. But this is so fucking amateurish. Like, you are making beyond low amateurish mistakes. Like, how come you didn't put these details out? So if you didn't even tell Stormy, who you are cool with, and you have personal, like, you can literally get in contact with all the time, what are you telling the other vendors? Did they know that they needed to pay $100? And like Stormy said, well, how come you didn't tell me when we did the walkthrough? Because she would have gave you the money right then there, because $100 ain't nothing. It really ain't. When you come to business like this, it ain't nothing. And that's not what she tripping on. It's the way that they're so fucking unprofessional. I said, and you wonder why that girl don't want to, Melody didn't want to do that. Because, girl, Melody knew. I knew, we knew, you know what I'm saying? You try to support black people, because then I don't want nobody to say, oh, y'all just trying to tear black people. No, we want to support black people. But just because you black don't mean that I got to support you if the shit look raggedy as fuck, okay? I'm the type of person you going to have all your ducks in a row. All your ducks in a row, because I want to support black people. I really do. But when it's some jank ass shit like this, oh no, I'm gonna have to pull that back, and I'm gonna have to give it to somebody else that actually deserve it. Okay? But anyway, and then he started getting very condescending. And then when he touched Stormy, Stormy said, don't touch me. That is funny to me. I said, gasp. Anyway, girl, that was Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me get up in here and watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. Oh, Love and Marriage Detroit. Girl, another show that's about to give me a headache, but I actually like it. But I'll see y'all later. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Peace.